Imagine a world where your daily protein comes from an organism that grows effortlessly, cleans the air, and needs minimal land. What if I told you this isn't science fiction, but a future we're already cultivating? Get ready to rethink everything you thought you knew about nutrition, because the superfood of tomorrow is greener than you think. By 2050, we'll have 10 billion people on this planet. And beating them with our current food system is impossible. We're already using 70% of our agricultural land just for livestock. We're depleting our oceans. We're destroying rainforests for cattle farms. The system is broken. Here's the shocking reality. To meet global protein demands by 2050, we'd need to double our current food production. But we're running out of land. We're running out of water. And traditional agriculture is one of the biggest contributors to climate change. But what if there was a solution that's been hiding in plain sight for billions of years? What if the answer to our food crisis has been floating in our oceans, rivers, and lakes this entire time? Enter algae. And I'm not talking about the green stuff you scrape off your pool. I'm talking about the most nutrient-dense, sustainable, efficient food source on the planet. Here's what most people don't know. Ancient civilizations were way ahead of us. The Aztecs harvested spirulina from Lake Texcoco and sold it in their markets. They called it tequitlatl. Chad communities in Africa have been consuming spirulina for centuries. They dry it into cakes and use it as a staple food. These weren't desperate survival tactics. These cultures recognized what modern science is only now confirming. Algae is one of the most complete foods nature has ever created. And now, we're on the brink of an algae revolution that could transform not just what we eat, but how we survive on this planet. Let me show you why algae is about to become the most important food you've never heard of. First, let's talk about what's actually inside this tiny organism, because when you see the numbers, you'll understand why scientists are calling this the protein of the future. Spirulina, one of the most studied forms of algae, is 60 to 70% protein by dry weight. Let me put that in perspective. Beef is about 26% protein. Chicken is around 31%. Even soybeans, one of the best plant proteins, is only 36%. Algae has more protein per gram than almost anything else you can eat. And it's complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs. This is rare in the plant kingdom. But it's not just about protein. Algae is packed with omega-3 fatty acids. Specifically, EPA and DHA, the same omega-3s you get from fish. Except here's the secret. Fish don't make omega-3s. They get them from eating algae. You're just cutting out the middleman. 1 gram of certain algae strains contains more omega-3s than a fish oil capsule. Without the mercury, without the fishy aftertaste, without depleting ocean ecosystems. Now let's talk about vitamins and minerals, because this is where algae becomes almost supernatural. Spirulina contains massive amounts of B vitamins, especially B12, which is notoriously difficult to get from plant sources. It has more iron than spinach, more calcium than milk by weight. It's loaded with magnesium, potassium, and manganese. Chlorella, another powerhouse algae, has the highest concentration of chlorophyll of any known plant. Chlorophyll detoxifies your body, supports your liver, and boosts your immune system. But here's what makes algae truly extraordinary. It contains phycocyanin, a pigment protein complex that's one of the most powerful antioxidants ever discovered. Studies show it has stronger anti-inflammatory effects than many pharmaceutical drugs. Compare this to kale, which everyone calls a superfood. A kale has about 3 grams of protein, per 100 grams. Spirulina has 60. Ale is great, but it's not even in the same universe. Here's the transformation waiting for you if you add algae to your daily routine. More sustained energy without caffeine crashes. Better recovery after workouts because of the complete amino acid profile. Clearer skin and stronger immunity from the antioxidants. Improved gut health from the prebiotic fibers. And all of this from something that grows faster than almost any other organism on Earth. Now let me show you how we're actually producing this miracle food, because the farming methods are as revolutionary as the food itself. Traditional farming requires massive amounts of land, water, and time. You need months to grow crops, years to raise livestock, and you're at the mercy of weather, pests, and seasons. Algae doesn't care about any of that. It grows in days, not months. It can be cultivated indoors in vertical farms using LED lights tuned to the exact wavelengths algae needs for photosynthesis. You can grow it year-round, in any climate, independent of weather. The efficiency is staggering. 1 acre of algae cultivation can produce 10 to 100 times more protein than the same acre used for soybeans, and 200 to 400 times more than an acre used for cattle. Water usage? Algae uses 99% less water than beef production. It doesn't need fertilizers that run off and pollute rivers. It doesn't need pesticides. And here's the kicker. Algae actually cleans the environment while it grows. Algae consumes carbon dioxide. 1 kilogram of algae biomass absorbs about 1.8 kilograms of CO2. Algae farms can be attached to industrial facilities, capturing carbon emissions before they enter the atmosphere. You're literally growing food while fighting climate change. The latest innovations are mind-blowing. Companies are building photobioreactors, enclosed systems where algae grows in controlled, optimized conditions. These systems can be stacked vertically, maximizing production per square foot. Some are powered entirely by renewable energy. We're talking about food production that uses a fraction of the resources, produces zero waste, and can be located anywhere. You could grow protein-rich food in a warehouse in the middle of a city. But here's the challenge that's held algae back until now. Taste and texture. Let's be honest. The first generation of algae products tasted like pond water. They were supplements, not food. You choked them down for health benefits, not enjoyment. That's changing rapidly. Scientists and food engineers have cracked the code on making algae delicious and versatile. They've figured out how to neutralize the strong flavors through strain selection and processing methods. They're using algae as a base for familiar foods, not asking you to eat green powder straight. Let me show you what's already on the market and what's coming soon, because the future of algae food is already here. You can buy spirulina pasta right now. It looks like regular pasta, tastes like regular pasta, but it has 3 times the protein and a complete amino acid profile. You're eating a performance food disguised as comfort food. There are algae-based protein bars and snacks that taste like chocolate or peanut butter. A weird aftertaste. Just clean energy and dense nutrition. Companies are using algae as a binding and protein source in plant-based burgers and meat alternatives. It provides the texture and nutrition that early plant-based meats were missing. There's algae-infused bread, crackers, and chips. Algae oil for cooking that's healthier than olive oil and has a neutral flavor. Even algae-based food coloring that's natural and nutrient-rich. But here's where it gets really exciting. Forward-thinking chefs are experimenting with algae as a gourmet ingredient. They're making algae butter that's creamy and rich. Algae-based sauces and dressings. Even algae ice cream that's decadent and surprisingly delicious. I recently tried a dish at a sustainable cuisine restaurant. Seared scallops on an algae puree with algae oil drizzle. It was one of the best things I've ever eaten. The algae added this subtle umami depth that enhanced everything. And I was eating the most nutritious plate of food imaginable. Here's what I predict will happen in the next decade. Algae will move from niche health stores to mainstream grocery aisles. You'll see algae enriched on everything from cereal to smoothies, the same way you now see whole grain or organic. School cafeterias will serve algae-based meals because they're cheap, nutritious, and help schools meet sustainability goals. Athletes and fitness enthusiasts will demand algae products because the performance benefits are undeniable. And restaurants will feature algae prominently, not as a gimmick, but as a premium ingredient. Within 20 years, I believe algae will be as common in your diet as chicken or rice is today. Your kids will grow up thinking it's completely normal. And they'll wonder why we ever thought it was weird. Now let me tie this all together and show you why algae isn't just about nutrition. It's about survival. We're facing 3 massive global crises simultaneously: climate change, food insecurity, and public health epidemics driven by poor nutrition. Algae addresses all 3 at once. It's carbon negative. Growing it removes greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. It can be cultivated on non-arable land, meaning we can restore forests and natural ecosystems instead of destroying them for agriculture. It uses almost no fresh water, critical as water scarcity worsens globally. It can provide complete nutrition to populations suffering from malnutrition. Organizations are already distributing spirulina to malnourished children in developing countries with remarkable results. And kids are gaining weight, their immune systems are strengthening, and they're thriving. And for those of us in developed countries dealing with obesity, diabetes, and heart disease from processed foods, algae offers clean, whole food nutrition that supports metabolic health. This isn't just a new food trend. This is a paradigm shift in how we think about feeding humanity. Here's what I want you to do. Don't just watch this video and forget about it. Take action. Start small. Buy a bag of spirulina powder and add a teaspoon to your morning smoothie. You won't taste it, but your body will feel the difference within a week. More energy, a better focus, and less inflammation. Try algae-based products when you see them. The pasta, the snacks, the protein bars. Support companies that are pioneering this technology. Your consumer choices shape what gets produced. Spread the word. Share this video with people who care about health, sustainability, and the future. The algae revolution needs advocates. It needs people who understand that food can be a solution, not just a problem. And if you're really inspired, look into how you can get involved. There are startups and initiatives working on algae cultivation, distribution, and education. This is a movement, and it needs passionate people. Here's my final thought. For billions of years, algae has been the foundation of life on Earth. It produced the oxygen we breathe. It fed the first complex organisms. It built entire ecosystems. Now, as we face the biggest challenges in human history, algae is offering us a way forward. A way to feed everyone. A way to heal the planet. A way to thrive, not just survive. The future of food isn't some lab-grown mystery. It's not artificial or synthetic. It's one of the oldest, most natural organisms on Earth, ready to nourish us the same way it nourished the planet for eons. The question isn't whether algae will be part of our future. The question is whether you'll be part of making that future happen. The revolution is green. The revolution is here. And it's more delicious than you think. Welcome to the future of food.